and eventually when Saddam does lose, 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 and eventually when Saddam does lose.
Barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. So, Golden Boy set up Saddam Ali 2 times in a row. And I'm just going to get right to it, be as concentrated as possible, and then I'll jump off into my narrative, right? As I always do. He was the B side of Cotto. Cotto don't fight in New York to lose. Cotto don't, no fighter, Hall of Fame fighter, has a retirement fight with the intentions of losing. Greatest example, Roy Jones. He just fought in his hometown. John Pascal. He just retired from boxing. I know he's thinking about coming back, but he just had a retirement fight. Floyd Mayweather. We knew he was coming back, but Floyd Mayweather against Andre Berto. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have retirement fights when you're a Hall of Fame fighter and you have anticipations of losing. You understand what I'm saying? So he was the B side of the Miguel Cotto fight, right? And he won, you know. Cotto had a torn bicep, I heard. I actually didn't see that fight. Uh, I didn't care for. I genuinely didn't care for it that much. And we fast forward to today. Saddam Ali was the B side today. As you guys see going into this fight, the president of Golden Boy said it before when Saddam Ali loses. I know I spoke about it in the previous videos, but Golden Boy didn't give two smacks about Saddam Ali. You know, he was the charitable donation. You understand? He was uh, an accidental blessing. And so for a short period of time now, I'm not sure how many fights he has with Golden Boy. If his fight deal is done, I would suggest that he's gonna go over the matchroom and get some money. You understand? I'm not sure how many people you can put in Barclay, but you know at the end of the day, uh, you got to go get your money, Saddam Ali. Okay, and I'm gonna do a video on Saddam Ali hopefully tonight if I'm not too tired. Um, uh, what was most telling about this fight? This is what you guys heard in the beginning of this video is Saddam Ali media brunch or media dinner, brunch, dinner, lunch, either the two. And Eric Gomez or Robert, I forget their names. I get them mixed up sometimes. He wasn't standing behind Saddam Ali, immediately standing behind him when he did his interview after the loss. That was very telling. He was in the background and Saddam Ali was in the foreground. I would say there was probably 8 feet between them, maybe 10 feet between them, and that's because I believe Magia had already signed with Golden Boy. Contingent he wins, contingent he loses, and they didn't want to be disrespectful to him. And so I mean, when your promoter don't stand behind you, win or lose, they can give two shits about you. When they put you in with a fighter that they believe that can beat you, they can give two shits about you. Saddam Ali, you should have unified. I don't know how much money HBO gave you. Obviously, you were the A side. I don't know how much money they gave you, but you should have went over and fought Jamel Charlo. They would have gave you $1 million, $800,000 to fight him. I'm just being 100 with you. I'm being as real as I can be with you. You understand? And I think it's disgusting. And the point I want to make, the point I want to drive home, Golden Boy will sell any race black fighter. Saddam Ali, I don't know what nationality is. I don't know if he's Muslim, American Muslim, or he's actually from an Arab country and he's Muslim. I don't know that for sure. I know his dad. I'm not. Well, I should say I don't know what country they're from. Um, uh, they will sell you out for the Mexican race, or for the Spanish race. I should say for the. I mean, um, for the Mexican race. I mean, Munguia, they sold Saddam Ali. Man, Saddam Ali, I can't believe you allowed this to happen, man. You know, your team deserves to be held accountable. Um, I'll ask the question in a respectful manner next time I see Coach Rozier. I actually love Coach Rozier. I mean, in terms of how he's a man amongst in Daniel Jacobs' life. He's a pillar of strength for Daniel Jacobs. You get that when they interview, and it's you can feel the synergy when they're in the room together. But if you're going to fight Munguia, why don't you unify against Jamel Charlo? It makes sense in the world, right? And if it just, I'm disappointed. You know, I'm disappointed in the matchmaking on Sadam Ali's part, and I'm more disappointed and disgusted. I think it's utterly disgusting how Golden Boy handled this promotion, handled this fight. I think it's deplorable. Uh, I think it's flat out disgusting. And this was the plan the whole time to give that belt to a Mexican. I believe it. No lie. You know, I believe it. I know Liam Smith was, you guys don't put in the comment section, but he was supposed to fight Liam Smith. It didn't happen. You understand? So uh, at the end of the day, like the WBO is owned by Top Rank and Manny Pacquiao. Like, he's going to find a way to get the WBO belt, right? It just happens that it just always happens that way, right? Manny Pacquiao ends up the WBO champion, right? And I believe that was the case. And they're trying to, I don't know if, maybe, I don't know, man, but I just think it's just disgusting that mm, they will sell your ass out. And it's disgusting. It's deplorable. They sold him out twice. They set Sadam Ali up twice. Golden Boy Promotion needs, and they allowed it. Now, the first time, it's an opportunity for Sadam, right? The second time, I know HBO probably would have canceled the card if you would have picked a bum. So what? So what? Who cares? At the end of the day, you're fighting for your last name, not for your promotion company. Liam Smith pulled out. Liam Walsh is the kicker, right, for the Minnesota Vikings. Um, is he? Or the backup quarterback? Either the two. I don't know. But if you know what's that? The guy who had to find the people. It used to come on when I was a kid on Saturday night, the same night as uh, the police show. That used to come on Saturday nights. But hidden cameras for police show. Um, but as I digress back into the topic, um, it, it's deplorable, man. How they handled this promotion. It's deplorable. It's deplorable. It's deplorable. If this was the United Nations, I don't know if this apply. I don't know if I'm using it in the correct text, but it sounds right for the sake of this conversation. They should be brought up on fraudulent charges for they broke the Geneva Code, the Geneva Convention. They broke the Treaty of Paris. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just I'm not disappointed. It's what I expect, and they set him up twice. They set him up twice to lose. Sadam Ali, Golden Boy sets you up twice to lose. Don't you understand? I know the pride of a man wants to prove people wrong, but at the end of the day, it's going to catch up with you. And it's just beyond me. I'm disgusted. I know I'm being repetitive, but I want to hit it home. You guys know the disdain I have for Golden Boy and their business practices. Um, the only man I don't like as a man is Oscar. I just I just think a man, and I know I'm talking about the character of a man that can disown his own child, his own seed. You know, I don't respect that. You understand? And especially when you live in a fraudulent truth in public, nah, I ain't rocking with you at all. So Yeah, man. Man, Saddam Ali, man. We need to go to Saddam Ali's Instagram and tell him. I'm going to go to his Instagram and tell him he was set up. Golden Boy set you up twice to lose. And I'm going to send him the link to this video because I don't even know if they caught it. But I'm going to tag Daniel Jacobs and um, they need to watch this video because I think it's just flat out disgusting, man. Uh, his equilibrium is shot now. I want to do. I'll talk about it in this video. Fuck it. Saddam Ali moving up in weight as a small guy being hit fucked up his equilibrium. His equilibrium is shot now. He's chinny now. Similar to what happened to Roy Jones. Roy Jones admitted to me. I'm unsure if it was on camera. I apologize. It was on camera. He said he wasn't the same after he moved up to heavyweight. The fluids in his brain just didn't allow his brain to be the same, and he was chinny after that, and he knew it. Saddam Ali is chinny because of that. Moving up in weight, taking his punishment, and sparring, um, being a warrior's mentality. Um, it's just it's disgusting, man. I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed because it's what I expect. I'm disappointed more on Team Ali's part, but I expect this type of practice from Golden Boy. They sold him out. Now McGee is gonna get a 3-fight deal with Golden Boy, and they're gonna promise him Canelo, and they're gonna promise him uh, at 160. They may throw David Lemieux to the wolves like they always do. David Lemieux was like their mule, you know. Oh, David Lemieux, you got a chance to be great. Fight this guy. Shit. Only person he hasn't fought is Canelo because HBO probably won't buy that fight, right? I think that's the biggest thing because they don't believe he'll be competitive. Um, yeah, man. Golden Boy, in terms of their A fighters, in terms of their walking into the ring champions, almost lost all three today. If Ray Vargas hadn't won, they would have lost 3 belts tonight. All 3. Now, obviously, Munguia is going to sign with Golden Boy. I mean, they probably signed that contract prior, win or lose. If you win, the contract is enacted as soon as you lose. I mean, excuse me, as soon as you win, that contract becomes valid. So, it is what it is, man. And now that we understand the landscape of boxing, we must accept it. We saw it. They're not going to come out and say it publicly. Oh, we set Saddam Ali up. They're not going to say that publicly. They're going to refute everything that I say. But in reality, he was set up, and I bet the majority of you guys had that feeling watching this fight. Golden Boy set him up to lose. They was the first infantry landing on the beaches of Normandy. That's who Saddam Ali was. They was he was the first helicopter drop in the Korean War. That's who Saddam Ali was tonight, and that's who he was against Cotto in December. I'm just being as frank and as illicit and as plain. And if you guys don't get the business of boxing, boo hoo, you need to find another sport if you're just going to refute this. I know Saddam Ali signed the contract, and that's the out, and that's a valid out. Saddam Ali took the fight. He had no choice. HBO comes to you and says, you got to take this fight. What you gonna do? You take the fight. Right? We're gonna pay you $800,000. And if you don't take the fight, it's an unwritten rule that if you disrespect or slight, the hand that feeds you, it will never feed you again. And that's the chance he took. He was an HBO fighter, I believe, when he lost to Jesse Vargas. And I believe, that was an HBO. I don't know if that was pay-per-view or regular HBO when he fought Miguel Cotto. I would assume it's regular HBO. Saddam Ali is not a pay-per-view fighter, and neither is Cotto any longer. But it's deplorable. And uh, uh, but I'm really the comment section. I'm gonna read the comments, and I love the engagement. Uh, but there's one thing you can never call Frederick Hawthorne. You can never call me a fool. You can call me a nigga. You can call me short. You can say I have a Napoleon complex. You can call me bald. You can call me a mama's boy. But the one thing you can't call me is a fool. I'm no fool. I'm watching this, and 6 out of 10 of you guys on the other side of this computer screen thought the same exact thing watching this fight. He was set up. And that's just what I believe. That's just what I feel. Sadam Ali, go regroup. You will get a second chance, but now you're going to be on the seaside. You're going to be making $150,000 in your next fight. I would suggest that you go to that small arena in Long Island. Go build your name cachet up. Go beat a 38-year-old former champion in your next fight, and work your way down. And in a year, you'll be back in a medium-sized 6-figure fight, and you'll get another crack. Go down to 147. It's hot and heavy down there. Uh, you and Collazo would be a good fight, you know. Samuel Vasquez, you know, in that realm, you know, Devin Alexander, Victor Ortiz, you know, you want to, Andre Berto would be a good fight for both of you guys, you know, if you want to make 147, Berto would take that fight. Um, you understand what I'm saying? Lamont Peter, no, you can't. Yeah, well, yeah, you can do that. Lamont Peterson, they're not trained by the same trainer, you know, so there's room for you to get back. You can always get the rematch with Jesse Vargas if you so choose. But I, at the end of the day, I wish you well, Sadam Ali. Um, you caught lightning in the bottle against Cotto, although you were set up, and although you signed the contract to fight Munguia. I'm willing. I want to know what happened behind the scenes. If you ever get a chance, I want to know what happened behind the scenes. Uh, when how much pressure was it for you to take this fight? I'm real curious, and I've never interviewed you, Sadam Ali. I'm looking forward to it. Maybe I can, maybe I will. Hopefully that can happen. But I'm real interested in understanding the business of this fight, the promotion of this fight, the behind the scenes. You know what I mean? See that you know. So barbershop conversations, man. Feel free to hit the subscribe button, and talk to you guys soon. Peace.